Hi there, beautiful souls, and welcome back, or welcome to the Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Happy Monday. Here we go. Brand new week, brand new energy, a lot to talk about. Good morning. Come on in. It's good to see everybody. I will get to the questions shortly. I just want to talk about the energy for the week because we have some interesting interesting energy floating around this week. So I want to talk about some ways of navigating it because this week feels like a lot. Alignment is going to be important this week, being in alignment, that grounding feeling. I feel a lot of crossroads coming in, some choices, some truths. This week feels like a few things coming to a head for you. So if you've got some stuff going on, I feel like we're coming into that point, that pivot point, perhaps some choices, perhaps some decisions, and navigating through it. But alignment is going to be significant, and being picky. Spirit said, be picky about what you're tapping into this week collectively and around you. It may be a very good week to kind of mind your own business energetically and choosing what you want to listen to, hear to, align with. Alignment is going to be important. A truth is going to be coming forward. Decisions are going to be coming forward. And it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be the big decisions, but it can be those small decisions that are kind of navigating you into a new path. A lot of new things on the path is going to kind of be like presenting itself, little seeds that I've been sprouting with new decisions, new choices, new places to go, new things to see, alignment and grounding. So if you can start your day off or your week off this week with a little bit of grounding outside, breathing, just simply a little bit of meditation, being able to say, you know what, I don't think I need to do that right now. I can, whatever you can hold off will be significant for the week as well. Trying to just prioritize what really needs to be done and what can wait, because I feel like we've got a lot coming in, and it doesn't feel bad, but we do kind of get into that headspace. Spending some time out of the headspace is going to be huge. Spirit is holding a lot of hands this week. I literally seen that in my meditation where there were all these hands being held by spirit guides. They're guiding you. And sometimes new beginnings and change, or all of a sudden those I have to make a decision. Being able to just pause for a moment and sit and percolate on it. Trust the energy on how it feels. Energy 101, good feels good, bad feels bad. Being able to lean in there a little bit with and kind of asking yourself, does this have to be dealt with right now in this red hot moment? Or can I just take a minute and sit with it? Can I sit down? Can I just pause? It can take seconds. It doesn't have to be, a day event to kind of sit and percolate. But I feel like the knee jerk reactions, the other people's stuff, the choices that we're coming into, those crossroads are taking us into new directions. I really feel this week for a lot of us, there's going to be a lot of new things coming up. And sometimes, often, as humans with change, we do kind of have that panic feeling. Oh, something's about to change. Oh, I don't know if I want to change. I don't want to change. I don't want to shift. We often do that, me included. There are times where it's like, I don't know, and it's like, no, spirit's like, no, this is taking you to the next level. Next level energy seems to be coming in. I'm going to be curious to see what I channel throughout the month of June, because I feel like next level healers, next level energy, new beginnings, new change, new directions. I feel like the summer is going to be kind of like bringing that forward for a lot of us with this whole next level. Trying something new is a good way to kind of help balance that change panic. If you're a change panic person, trying something new, it can, and it can be very, very simple. It doesn't have to be big bold new things. It can be a new flavor of tea, or something new. I feel like we're going to have to kind of get in a little bit of that momentum with embracing the new, embracing the next, but it feels very much like leveled up. But in the beginning stages, we don't kind of always see it that way, if that makes sense to you guys there. So, exploring new, especially if you guys struggle with change, start with exploring new things, taste things, kind of get into that mindset of leaning in a little bit more on the new, so I will leave that with you to percolate on. But alignment alignment, taking time to pause, getting yourself extra grounded. It's not a bad thing for extra grounding. I try to amplify and turn up my grounding exercises on a fairly regular basis so that when I do have to navigate through some, turbulence, when I do have to navigate through that, I'm in a more clear space, clear-headed. There's also this energy of exhaustion that's going to be floating through midweek. Be sure that you're resting. Be sure that if you can get to bed on time, that would be beneficial. Good in, good out, water, nutritious food, meditation, grounding. It's going to be a week where that's going to be really important to help with our clarity. So I will leave that with you. And if you have any questions and you on how to ground or how to kind of balance with some spiritual practices, please use the chat and I'll get to as many questions as I can. Okay, you guys, let's scroll up here and see what's going on. And good morning for all you joining in. By the way, I see you all here. Jasmine, happy Monday. Lana, what does spirit guide say about the spirit who has been saluting me? And does my grandpa Tony have any messages for me? Um, Jasmine, I feel like it's like trying to get your attention, but I also feel it's about acknowledging you. I feel like I've got to acknowledge you. So, spending some time taking a look, Jasmine, at the other side of you, the side that's doing things really well, the side that is growing. We focus so much on what we haven't done, what we're not doing great, and I feel like Spirit and your grandpa is saying, "But yes, yes, self reflection is great, and I'm a big supporter of self reflection." But there's also the putting that into balance with looking at, I'm doing this really well too. Yes, I've got a long way to go, perhaps, and I'm learning and I'm sifting and I'm sorting. But I feel like I've got to acknowledge myself, like acknowledge yourself here, Jasmine. I feel like they're saying to you, it's also time to balance that. So I don't know if you're really hard on yourself, Jasmine, and it feels like you are. I feel like I need to also, every time you're judging yourself, I feel like I also need to lean in. Okay, yes, I've got to work on this. Yes, I do. I do have to work on this, but I'm also doing this really well. And my best is good enough. Jasmine, I hope that makes sense there for you. Okay, where are we going here? Dee Dee, I know quieting my mind and staying in the present is a practice, but I'm only 1 week grieving and I find myself in the angry stage, being very reactive and impatient. Help. Dee Dee, I love how you acknowledge, what's going on. And grief is a journey. And we can't race through grief. We can't race through the feelings. We know feeling the feelings and Dee Dee acknowledging them and giving yourself the time and space to grieve and the time and space to feel. You can't push down grief and try and swallow it down. You can't, because what happens is the bubbles back up. We can only push things down for so long, and then we've got that bubble. So Dee Dee, spiritual practices to help you with the anger. Go outside, be angry. Be angry and let it go. And sit with yourself and sit with spirit, and acknowledging the feelings is huge. It is okay to feel the not so light feelings. I talk about this all the time on the channel. I'm not a fan at all on toxic positivity. I'm not going to sit here and say to you, don't feel anger. You need to feel it, and you need to feel the grief, and you need to also remind yourself of the journey, of the process, and allowing it and giving yourself the time that you need, and connecting in a way that is good for you, that resonates with you. So be angry, feel it, let it go, do a release, Dee Dee, rather than be going down the water and hollering. I have temper tantrums in the forest, especially when I don't understand things. I go in and I literally do. I'm not afraid to admit it. I will go in the forest and stomp my feet and let it out. And then once I let it out, I can sit and feel that space clearing, and I can sit and feel spirit coming closer. But I have to remove that feeling of what I'm navigating through, right? Because it's okay to really acknowledge that part of you that's struggling. And I think that we've been conditioned and trained, many of us have been kind of programmed to not feel and to not acknowledge, in a healthy way. So finding a healthy way to release that, Dee Dee, will be immensely helpful. And know that you are loved and supported, Dee Dee. You are loved and supported. Okay, where are we here? Spring, is there any spring? Is there anything from spirit today? Thank you. Um, Spring, I really feel verbalizing your truth is going to really help you navigate over the next couple of days. I feel like that space of saying this is how I feel. Not everybody has to pick it up and understand it, and quite often people don't. Sometimes we seek validation from people with, I'm feeling this way, or I think I'm thinking of things this way, and I feel like expressing it and being totally solid, and this is how I'm feeling. And sometimes we don't get, and I don't know why I have to say this to you, Spring. Sometimes we don't get the understanding from people around us. Sometimes people just can't meet us in the space that they're at. They can only meet us where they are. So they can't meet us. If you're here and somebody else is here, they can't always come into your alignment, and it's okay, right? And they're dealing with their own and processing their own. So sometimes, Spring, we have to, like, this is how I feel. Pick it up or don't pick it up, and then I'm not going to repeat it over and over. This is how I feel. So I don't know if you've been repeating something to somebody, Spring. This is how I feel, or the yeah, but this is how I am, or yeah, but this is how I see it. I feel like I feel like I have to say you said it a few times, and that who people have to come and meet you, or you can only meet them where they're at, and not kind of trying to push forward. Sometimes we try to push forward people forward. Can you come over here? Sometimes people just aren't ready, if that makes sense. Sometimes, and truly, this isn't just for Spring, but we can all think of how there may have been a person or people in our lives who were not able to see it from our perspective, and we do put in some time, trying to force them to see it, and sometimes they just can't. And being able to acknowledge to yourself, okay, I've explained it. This is how I feel. If I would appreciate some respect on it, but we can't push people to see our perspective. We can't, and sometimes it's about their own stuff, or people are healing happens in layers, and other people are navigating through the layers as well, if that makes sense there. Wes, any messages from me? Wes, you're so cute. Wes, I feel like I just have to continue acknowledging that you're doing a good job. You're navigating where you are the best that you can. Wes, I really feel, again, I know I said this to you a couple weeks in a row now, but I really feel like you're going through some healing. But I also and I feel like I've got to really take it a next level into the next layer of my healing. You're working on your stuff and you're doing really well, Wes. Kimberly, I would like to know, does my cat have a message for me? A couple of days ago, I felt his spirit under my feet. Kimberly, I love that. I feel like I'm guiding you. I feel like I'm connecting to your feet in new directions. I feel like I'm always here with you, but I feel like I'm trying to direct you. So if new direction or new choices come up for you, Kimberly, just connect to that cat and say, can you help show me the way? I feel like this cat is showing you the way into something new. And I also feel like it's bringing something new to you. Mandy Greenhill, today's my dad's 84th birthday and haven't any messages from him. Mandy, I really feel this rest. I feel like he's saying it's okay to rest and rest energetically, not just rest physically. I feel like I've got to rest my energy. I feel like I've got to just kind of like pause and energetically and kind of rest my energy. And I feel like I have to watch my energy investment. Um he just kind of touched the back of my neck, Mandy. It was kind of cool. I just got that a brush up against my neck. I feel like I've just got to like rest my energy. I don't want to overspend it. And I feel like I've got to like invest it in something different, invest it in myself, invest it into that peace. And it's keep your peace, keep your peace. I don't know if there's been something, Mandy, that's been percolating, that's been ruffling your feathers. I just feel like my feathers got ruffled. Keep your peace, walking away, stepping back. You don't have to get involved. He's really with this rest your energy piece, Mandy. I hope that makes sense. Nisa, a couple nights ago, this past week before my bed, my dog started growling in the dark. Is it a spirit or is she hearing something outside? Nisa, I'm really pulled to the physical world. I feel like this is more of a physical world thing versus a spiritual. I think that she's hearing something outside, because it doesn't feel like spiritual movement to me. It feels more physical. So other animals, I don't feel a danger with it either. It feels like it's naturally part of the environment. So I feel like there's something outside that was moving around that got her attention. Spring, make sure you hit that smash button. Thank you, darling. Okay. Where are we here? Cheryl, love the change and level up message. That said, I would be much happier if I could see a clear path forward. Cheryl, and I really appreciate how you worded that. And I'm gonna comment on that. You're right. We don't always see the clear path forward. But what is really, really helpful, you guys, is when we sit in the energy, and this is what I do. I don't always see the clear path forward either. Sometimes people think that my path is always clear for me. It's not. It's not always clear. So what I do is I come back, Cheryl, to the present moment, and I ask my spirit guides to guide me. Can you show me? And I use simple words like that. Can you show me the way? Can you shine a light at my feet? And I trust the power of now. Right now I'm here. Right now is all I have anyway. It will lift. And what am I learning? Cheryl, I always ask myself, I step back and I sit, what am I learning right now? Ooh, I'm learning a little bit more patience, and the next level of patience. Ooh, my trust level is getting a little bit more. I got to work on trusting them right now. We as humans like to know, what's coming up the next 10 steps, right? We do. It's a natural human instinct. And spirit always, even with me, pulls me back and says, okay, but right now is where the learning is. Right now is where the juice is. Right now, you can only take one step or two or three forward, and sometimes it's fast, and sometimes it's slow. So going with the flow, Cheryl, it is constant work. I'm going to say that to you. I still work at that. I still work on that because it's a very natural human thing to want to be able to know the next steps or all the answers at once. So it's constant work on the alignment part, and a lot of things are constant work, right? Overthinking and headspace, and all the spiritual practices. It's hard work being a human. It is hard work being a human. And I will use that sentence. I'll be like, it is hard work being here, and they're like, yep, you're in the hardest school in all of the dimensions. So yeah, it's hard work being here, and I will remind myself of that, and I will remind myself of one step at a time. It's all we can take anyway. Marlene, Lana, are my spirit guides and guardian angels hap- happier with me? I have been talking to them a lot. Well done, well done. Our angels and guides, are and our spirit and our people in the spirit dimensions. They see us learning, and they see us. They see us struggle. They see us trying. Absolutely. And I feel like the more, and I always say this, the more that you connect and the more that you chat with them, they're always there, but you start to feel them closer. You start to feel them, and it has a delicious sensation and a feeling. And it also takes, it's like relationship building, right? We're getting to know them. We're getting to trust them. We're learning as we go. How I work with my guides and my team is different than how everybody else is going to do it. And you, Marlene, and your relationship with your guides will always be different. And it's always about growth, and you will feel it shift. You'll feel it closer. The trust grows, and sometimes it grows slowly, and sometimes it grows quickly. But it's about simply allowing. Jasmine, I have been drinking lots of water. Me too. Me too. I'm really working hard to get up to 3 liters of water a day, and it's work for me. Kayla, I made it. Does Spirit have any messages for me? So glad I'm here today, Kayla. Kayla, number one, I was connecting with your energy. I got this warrior, like this warrior energy, just kind of push through me. Kayla, I feel like acknowledging, how sturdy your legs are, your spiritual legs. I feel like I got to acknowledge I've really pushed through. I've really stood tall. I've really done my best. Everything is always working out for me. I feel like I've got to acknowledge it's been a lot for you, Kayla. The energy's been a lot. The uncertainty's been a lot. The growth has been a lot. There's still a lot of. I keep using the word a lot, Kayla. So I don't know if you've been using that word a lot, but a lot. And here I am. Here I am in all my warriorness. I don't even know if that's a word. In all my warriorness, here I am. Here I am, and I feel like I've got to acknowledge that. Kayla, I don't feel like you're getting acknowledgement. I don't. I just don't feel. I don't feel. I feel like it's like, okay, but you didn't do that. You didn't do that, and there's still this to do. And I feel like I have to say, acknowledge yourself. Keila, I also feel, if you can get a piece of wood or Palo Santo or anything, it feels wood to me, and kind of carry it in your pocket or carry it in your purse I just feel this wood energy, and I'm not quite sure why, but I feel like I need to carry a piece of wood. um, and that's what they're showing me. I can just smell. I can smell wood. So I feel like I've got to kind of like it can be a little stick off the ground. I feel like I've got to kind of like tap into that solid, that growth, that when you think of trees and their roots, perhaps that will help you kind of feel that solid. Ooh, are you struggling with feeling solid? There we go. And are you struggling with growing with the whole growth part? I'm just having a listen there, Kayla. I think that a piece of wood, I know it sounds odd, but that's what they're showing me. I think that the wood will help you navigate through that. And Kayla, we are so happy to see you here and feel your energy this morning. Jasmine, yes, I'm really hard on myself lately. Yeah. Soften that, talk to that. Yes, there is always work to do. And yes, sometimes we don't do well. And yes, our best is good enough, but we need to lean in there a little bit. Marlene, I'm trying to connect with my spirit guides and guardian angels, but I've not been able to. I talk to them a lot now and meditate. I am getting frustrated. Okay, so Marlene, it does have a frustration feeling. Excuse me. Um, Marlene, I think words like I'm getting to know who my spirit guides are, and I appreciate you coming. I know that you're here, and I'm learning how to connect with you. It does take some time, and Marlene, I'm going to say this to you. I have been connecting with my spirit guides for 30, 40 years. In there, in and out sometimes. Sometimes I was in and out, but I can tell you I'm still learning. It is a constant growth and it is a constant change. And as soon as I get to know a few spirit guides really, really well, they do a staff change. And it's like, oh, I got a new guide. And now I'm gonna work and nurture and learn and tap into this relationship. Um, it's about learning and teaching, and they're teaching you right now, and sometimes it takes us a bit, and sometimes it's we have guides that we connect to really quickly, and sometimes we're just learning and navigating. So I often remind myself, Marlene, even though I'm older, I will remind myself that I'm here in a classroom, and sometimes I'm back in kindergarten. I'm learning, right? And I think that sometimes I'll use the word assume, but I mean it in a very light way. Sometimes we assume it's going to be easy and smooth and gentle and floaty and fluffy buddy and all that. And sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. And I think that learning, and I always say, okay, I know you're here. I always acknowledge my guides with that. I know I have such a knowing that you're here. And I'm grateful for that you're here. And I start asking questions, little things like, can you show me? I also make sure that I have an awareness to kind of check in on the magic. And even if I'm not 100% sure that that was a sign from my spirit guides, oh, there's a bird singing. I'm going to listen to that. Thank you. Right. I just start acknowledging the little things, and I try not to overthink the little things, and it will grow, Marlene. It will grow, and the magic sometimes is slow, and sometimes it's really fast, and it's always changing. It's always changing. It's like getting to know new people, and it can take some time to build that. And Marlene, I am so proud of you that you are trying, that you're working on it. I know, and you use the word trying. I'm trying to connect. Yes, you are. Right. Really, that will soften the frustration. Really kind of feel into that. I know they're here and I'm trying to get to know them. Donna. Hi, Lana. I'm so happy to catch a live. I'm so happy to have you, Donna. I need to know if I can trust someone that I that I don't doesn't. Is there a loved one in spirit that can tell me more? Um So Donna, I feel like I've got to, and I know some of you will wink through your nose when I bring it back to you. I feel like there's something here to learn about your own intuition here, Donna. Okay, so I feel like I've got to kind of come back into my own intuition, and I feel like something, and I don't feel terrible with not trusting this person, but I feel like I have to say, okay, my intuition is questioning this, right? That is your intuition speaking to you, and I love using everything as a teaching moment. So and there are different levels of trust, right? There are some people we can trust here, and there are some people that we can trust here, and there are some people that we can trust with our life, right? So I feel like I've got to say there's a level of trust. I feel like there's a level of trust. I feel like I need to say to you intuitively, Donna, where do you feel that trust level is? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? And trusting your intuition. And I always like to lead people better than how I found them. That is my thing. I like to teach you how to tap in and feel and interpret the energy. You are asking the question for a reason. That is your intuition saying, "Hey, I something smells a little bit not quite all the way up here." I would kind of slowly kind of feel where that trust level is. Okay, Don. I know it's not a direct answer. I don't feel terrible though, but I do feel like there is a level of where that trust is at, and I will leave that with you to kind of sift and sort. Dee Dee, thank you. Your words always help me, but how do I get those around me to understand? Dee Dee, it comes back to what I said a little bit earlier. They don't have to. They don't have to understand. People do not need to understand where we're at. Does it help and does it feel good? Yeah, it does help and it does feel good when people understand how we're feeling. But Dee Dee, listen to me for a moment, okay? I understand how you're feeling. I understand. I truly do, and I'm holding space for you. Some of the people, probably most of the people, if not all the people here on the live, understand, what it's, the loss of an animal and the grief that comes forward from that. You are understood. It may not be as deep as from the people that are around you, or perhaps it is and they just don't know how to express it, or perhaps they just don't understand it. And it's okay. They're also, some of them are also going through their own stuff and they just express it very differently. Yes, it feels good to get support and validation from those that are around us, but we need to cultivate our own ring, if you will, of being okay. Indeed, I don't want to make it about me at all, but I'm going to use it as an example. There was a timeline for me where I really wanted people to understand what I do, how I do it, and accept me. Okay. And I wasn't getting it. And I had to rely on myself to be totally okay with every feeling, every connection. It has to, it's always been inward anyway. It's extra and it's a bonus when we have people that support, but sometimes, and perhaps they are supporting in the best way that they can, or they have an understanding the best that they can. So leaning into their understanding the best that they can, and they're not getting all of it, but you understand how you're feeling, and it's your connection to that love pet, and just kind of leaning in there a little bit. And Didi, you are held, and perhaps part of this is feeling that you are held by spirit, you are held by source energy, you are held, and that will also grow your connection to spirit. Is when you can really kind of embrace all of that as being the big support system. Doreen, Doreen 888. Hi, good to meet you. Do you have any messages for me? Welcome. Doreen, I feel really pulled to, maybe it's the 888 that pulled me to the angel number book, but I feel really pulled to pull a message for you from the angel numbers. So let's just see where I go here. 235. Sorry, 325. Sorry. The changes that you're making or considering have been guided by the wise and loving ascended masters. You can walk along the path of healthy change with certainty that you're doing the right thing. And I love how that just kind of, blended right into what I talked about earlier in the energy with change coming. We can walk in the path of healthy change. Oh, that's pretty good this morning. It's pretty good this morning. Yep, my youngest son, Andrew. I'm glad that resonates there for you, Spring. Ina, any messages I should hear this morning from my team? Ina, I feel like I need to say you're doing better than what you can see. I feel like there's this light around you, and it feels like brighter than what you can see. And I feel like, and I just feel like clarity moving through, and I just feel like you're gonna see how brilliant and bright and how well that you're doing. But I feel like I have to watch how I'm talking to myself. I feel like I've got to kind of acknowledge, yep, that was my best. My best is good enough. I'm going to try again tomorrow. I feel like I've got to kind of like lean into that. I am doing well and the best that I can. I am learning, and sometimes it's hard. I have to come into how I'm talking to myself, if that makes sense there for you, Ina. Tabitha, hi, Lana. Do my guides and loved ones have any messages for me? I'm feeling frustrated and overwhelmed. Yeah, and I think that that energy of frustration and overwhelm is coming in this week as well. um, Tabitha, I feel like I've got this like very, very loving mother energy around you. So mom, grandmother, someone like a mom, ancestors that were, that were motherly. I feel like I have to say even Mother Earth. I love that. I just heard that even Mother Earth is holding you in that nurturing, but I feel like I need to nurture myself. I feel like I've got to mother myself. I feel like I've got to like kind of really treat myself with that motherly love. So when you think about Tabitha for a moment, what you would say to a little person if they were feeling frustrated, we would hold them and we would listen to them and we would let them share, right? So I feel like I've got to give that same motherly energy that we would give out to a little or even the older people, like that motherly. I feel like I've got to say I'm going to hold myself and embrace myself in that, and I'm going to talk to myself in a very motherly, nurturing energy. And Tabitha, sometimes these things can feel a little bit funny, with that nurturing ourself and holding ourself. But when you kind of like spend some time like nurturing yourself, it just feels so soft and so good, and it helps us to soften ourselves. We sometimes can be a little bit prickly on ourselves. We can nurture other people, we can love and hold space for other people, we can be less frustrated with other people, but when it comes to ourselves, that's where we seem to struggle the most. So coming into that heart space, coming into that gentle, coming into that nurturing, I'm frustrated, I'm just going to nurture it, I'm going to nurture that frustration, right? Okay. Oh, I gotta watch the time. How does it go by so fast, you guys? um Bless you for all that you do for us. Thank you, Marlene. And bless you guys for coming here and showing up once and twice a week and holding space for me. Uh, hmm. Oh, there's Sandra. Good morning, Sandra Bullock. Bubbles, shy. Just to be funny, Lana, did the chicken in your truck eventually get out of the truck? So I had a chicken in my truck. I had a chicken in my truck. The video that I didn't share, shy, was the chicken also in the back of my truck. So first it was in the box of my truck, and he scratching around in the box of the truck, and then the chicken went into the driver. I opened my door and in hopped the chicken, and then I had to open the passenger door, and yes, the chicken got out. I didn't take the chicken home with me. I really wanted to, though. That was a brilliant chicken. Chickens are really smart. They really are smart, and they're actually excellent communicators. Excellent communicators. Kayla, my new job doesn't acknowledge the strength that I have. There it is. They comment on my mistakes. I'm trying my best to stay grounded and confident because I know I'm allowed to take up space. There it is, Kayla. So, acknowledging yourself perhaps every day on your way home from this new job, as you're walking home, you just kind of feel into that. I'm learning, and yes, it's a new job. Really kind of dig deep in holding yourself in that. I think it'll be really important to help. You've never had this job before, right? It's new to me. I also feel Sheila, I do feel quite good that with I'll use the word like with your employer and understanding that you're learning. I don't feel too prickly there. I just feel that they're teaching you and they're bringing up what needs to be kind of be done and what may not be going as great, but I feel like I do feel like you're well liked. I feel like that you're doing very well. I do feel that, Kayla. So, and sometimes, and we will all sit here and nod our head this morning. Yep. Sometimes there's that we take things very personal, and we tap into. Oh, I didn't. They didn't like that I did that, or I didn't learn that quick enough. We tap into taking things really personal. Remember, this is a job. It's not the essence of who you are. It's something that you do, and this is something that you are learning. It just helps with that perspective of not absorbing it at a personal level, because sometimes it can bring up old stuff too. I didn't do that well. I wasn't that great. I wasn't. Just kind of remind yourself this is my job. I have a job today, and I'm navigating the best. I'm learning. I'm learning. Just kind of watch that self talk a little bit, because it can be hard when we've got people breathing down our neck, pointing out what we're not doing great, or that we're learning. Dee Dee, wow, message for spring really resonated. Oh, I'm so grateful that things other people can get a message and it can resonate with exactly what you need to hear. And I love that so much. I love that so much. Spring. What Lana said, messages for one person. Oh, there we go. May resonate with others as well. Kind of cool when it does. Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, we all go through things collectively, and spirit works in incredible ways, and the words of wisdom from spirit, it's not, it can go to whoever really needs to hear it. And and that's kind of how I roll with spirit to begin with. What do I need to hear today, right? What does the group need to hear today? It can message, or the message can resonate to many people. Sandra Bullock, are there any messages for me, Lana? I hope that all is well in your world. Everything is glorious in my world. Thank you for asking. It is delicious. I really feel like I've got to really applaud the steps that you're taking. I feel like you've taken some big leaps of faith, and I feel like sometimes they leave you with the strength, and sometimes they kind of like, should I say like this? Should I shrink? No, don't shrink. Don't shrink. Allow yourself to experience it. And either way. Either way this goes, I'm gonna experience it. So I just feel like I need to say that to you there, Sandra. Okay, I gotta watch the time, guys. I'm just gonna see if there's can I need to grab at here. Yes, it's hard work, sister. Yes, it is hard work. It's very hard work. It's hard work being here. And we came to learn, and we came to grow, and we came to sift and sort. Mila Earl, I've been having trouble figuring out what career I want to pursue. What field do you feel I will end up in? Well, Mila, there's a really hard one to answer because you've got the power. I don't have the power, over your career choices. I feel like I need to say I'm test tasting new things, and I feel like I've got to say right now I'm here and I'm trying this. You know, careers can be and take many different paths. We don't always stay in the same. Some people do, and that's great. But some of us don't. Some of us will try something. Yep, tried it, worked great. Want something new. Mila, I feel like I've got to loosen up the energy there. I feel like I've got to really, sit with myself. And I feel like the outward reach. I need to come bring into you. I feel like I need to quietly sit, come within, and really feel my own energy. Sometimes, and this isn't just directed at Mila, this is like for all of us, me included. Me included. Sometimes we look outward too much and want the energy or people around us to tell us what to do, how to be, what to be when we grow up, what to dress like, all of that. And we reach too much. I feel, Mila, that some of what you're navigating with the learning is to not reach so much outward and to come inward. What do you want? And if you're saying, well, I really don't know. I really don't know what I want, then that's okay. Right? That try things, feel into things, take a pause, take a moment, really kind of, perhaps talk to people in different fields. Like I really feel, or I'm not quite sure where you're at as far as age wise, but is there a co-op or volunteering that you can do in a specific area that can kind of help you get a taste of the flavor? You're not, and I feel like I need to say, Mila, you're not behind. I don't know if you're struggling with I'm behind. I just hear I'm behind. I'm behind. You're not behind. You're figuring it out. Right. And sometimes we need a little bit more time to figure it out. We put so much pressure on ourselves. And when you think about it, hurry up and finish kindergarten, hurry up and finish elementary school, hurry up and finish high school, figure it out. What do you want to do? And we don't give ourselves time to figure it out. So, so explore it, Mila. Come in. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Okay, you guys. I know there's a lot of questions and a lot of comments here. I love you guys so much. It's after 9 o'clock. Luckily, it's my Zoom week, so I don't have to drive anywhere. Lana, thanks. I just had my first mediumship demo. Very good. Oh, well done. In celebrating myself instead of repeating inadequacy. I love the permission to just experiencing it. Yeah, and just experience it. All of it. I'm here, and I remind myself of that. I am here for an experience. And that experience isn't always going to be smooth. It's not always going to be great. I'm here learning. What am I learning today? And that's when I make myself my morning tea. That is one of the first things I say is what am I learning today, Spirit? And I do it with a smile on my face, even though I know it might have moments I'm going to grind my teeth. it might have moments that I am going to clench my jaw, but what am I learning today? It softens. I'm going to experience it. I'm going to experience it. I also bring my awareness into things as I'm experiencing. I am experiencing this and I am going to frolic in it. All right. Even when it's tough. And, I am going to frolic in it. I am going to learn today. What am I learning today? Cheers to the learning. Right? It helps, and I get it. It can be hard, but our response to the hard part is also going to give the hard stuff some momentum. We give energy momentum. If you're here on my channel, you've got some kind of belief system and energy, because this is what I do, right? So what kind of energy am I going to give it? I'm going to give it the learning energy, where I'm going to look for my lessons. I'm going to look for the experience. I'm going to look for, I'm going to look for that while I navigate it, because it will help soften, it will help acknowledge. And I don't know about you guys, but if I'm going to learn a lesson, I want to learn it once, because I've learned that if I don't learn the lesson the first time, it's coming up again and again until I learn it. So I always kind of approach it that way with, what am I learning today? What's that person teaching me? Okay, they're teaching me that. And sometimes the lesson is to learn what we want and learn what we don't want in our lives, right? Sometimes there's that too. A hard school here on Earth. This Earth, this planet Earth, this dimension of physical world, it's a hard one. All right, what do we need to know from the angelics? Let's grab a number. 418. Keep up the good work. As your optimistic outlook and connection to the angels have opened the gateway to abundance. Let's do another one. 211. Now is the time for all of you to rise above any seeming problems and ensure that every word you speak, write, or think can be positive and looking for lessons. Can you believe that? You are manifesting very quickly. So if you want to ensure that you're focused solely upon your desired outcomes, do not dwell upon any fears. I love it. Acknowledge fears. It's good to acknowledge fears. I will acknowledge my fears. Yeah, yep. I'm acknowledging it. But what's it teaching me? Okay. All right. What do we need here today? You guys, help me out. Set your intentions. What do we need for the week? Lemur. Lemur. Okay. Your powers of clairvoyance will increase to the point where you'll be seeing your helping spirits more clearly. Spend some time in a forest, the woods, or the bush. Find a tree to sit and meditate with, your back up against it, to see what messages or impressions you get. You don't got to tell me twice to go to the forest. Explore the use of incense or aromatherapy for a variety of purposes. Donate your time, energy, or money to a reputable organization that contributes to reforestation and is dedicated to halting deforestation. You may want to investigate any past life links to Africa, particularly Madagascar. Well, there's a lot in that one. Always take what resonates. Donate your time and energy. That could be to figuring something out. Mila, like I said, go volunteer somewhere and feel if that's for you. Time in the forest. I mean, you don't have to tell me twice. I will be there. I will be there. I'll be there as soon as I possibly can. Oh man, I love it so much. I am not here Friday. I need Friday to breathe. So I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next Monday, a week from today. I will see you then. And Pumbaa the warthog. King Julian is a lemur. Well, you guys are all liking this, eh? Timon, I claim this message. Yeah. Yes, we do not want the lesson more than once. Oh, yeah. Yes, we don't want the lesson more than once. I 100% agree. That's why I always look for it. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful week. I will miss you on Friday. I will be saying goodbye to a very special person on Friday. So I need some time and space to flow and feel that. As always, I'm wishing you Love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided day. Take care.